to feel alright. Filled with peace and love and shining never so bright. Well, you found your harbor, the vibe is strong and true. Mama warriors on alive, waiting here for you. We're serving great music and tranquility, so hit that like button for the family. Share the love so others feel it too. And tap subscribe, we're so glad to have you. Welcome in.
From Harrington Park, fire was lit. Son of executive, sharp of wit. On Stanford's fields, he played the game. Then Oxford called, he learned its name. A Rhodes Scholar with a world to see. Young Cory Booker with a law degree. But not for Wall Street, not for fame. He heard a different city call his name. Oh, Cory Booker, a voice for the fight. From Newark streets to DC's light. For the Garden State, he stands up tall, answering the people's urgent call. In the Senate halls, he makes his case with passion, principle, and grace. A journey forged in hope and care. The man from Harrington Park is there. He chose the bricks of Newark town, not a simple path to wear a crown. Started a non-profit hand to hand to help the poor, help hope across the land. A street fight captured on the screen, a loss that only made him king. The Mayor Cory Booker took the chair and breathed new life into the city air. Oh, Cory Booker, voice for the fight. From Newark streets to DC's light. For the Garden State, he stands up tall and answering the people's urgent call. In the Senate halls, he makes his case with passion, principle, and grace. A journey forged in hope and care. The man from Harrington Park is there. Oh, he speaks of justice, breaking chains, easing economic growing pains. The First Step Act, a bill he passed, a vision for a future meant to last. From baby bones to heal the divide, to health care with nowhere left to hide. A run for the White House, bold and true. That's the leader Cory Booker showed to you. Oh, Cory Booker, a voice for the fight. From Newark streets to DC's light. For the Garden State, he stands up tall, answering the people's urgent call. In the Senate hall, he makes his case with passion, principle, and grace. A journey forged in hope and care. The man from Harrington Park is there. Now, senior senator, what goes on from the early morning to the dawn. A Jersey story, strong and clear. The voice of Cory, year after year. We love you. keep fighting the good fight. Oh, oh, yeah. Oh, oh, ooh, 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 oh, oh, yeah, yeah, oh, oh.
Well, hello there. This is Mama Warrior, better known as DD Pops, coming to you this afternoon here at 1:46 p.m. at 10/11/2025. Today I want to do a review of a great senator, one I've come to admire, and I'm pretty sure many others have too. Senator Cory Booker is who we're going to talk about today. First of all, thank all that have come to the chat and that are in the bushes. However, thank you. And I think that you will enjoy this video. So let me just give us a little history about him. And then I have a couple of videos so we can see this great man speak with his power, his effectiveness, and his fight for the people. Yet another one, fighting for the people. So let me just give us a little history about our Senator Cory Booker. The journey of Senator Cory Booker. A foundation of strength, family, and early life. Pioneering parents. Cory Booker was raised by his loving parents, Carolyn and Carrie Booker, who were among the first Black executives at IBM. They broke down racial barriers, instilled in him a deep sense of justice and determination from a young age. A legacy of justice, his family's own powerful story of fighting housing discrimination, moved to Harrington Park, New Jersey, taught him early on about the importance of community and standing up for what is right. And he has been doing that ever since. Jersey roots, he was raised in New Jersey, my hometown. His entire life and career have been dedicated to the people and the progress of the Garden State. His academic excellence. He's an exceptional student. He earned a bachelor's and a master's degree from the prestigious Stanford University. Team player, while at Stanford, he was also a talented athlete, playing tight end on the varsity football team, demonstrating his skills in teamwork and discipline, which he uses today in his political career. A Rhodes Scholar. He was awarded the highly distinguished Rhodes Scholarship, studying at the University of Oxford in an honor reserved for the world's most promising young leaders. His great commitment to law and justice, he completed his education by earning a Juris Doctor degree from Yale Law School, solidifying his foundation to serve others through law and policies, which he has done. He answered the call to serve Newark. Service over self. After graduating from Yale, instead of choosing a lucrative corporate path, Cory Booker moved to Newark to begin a new life of public service. Grassroots leadership. He co-founded a nonprofit organization to provide legal services and support for low-income families, showing his early commitment to direct community action, which he does today. Answering the call to Newark, and we talked about that, and living among the people. So he figured to truly understand the community he wished to serve, he lived for years in Brick Towers, a troubled housing project in Newark Central Ward, connecting deeply with residents and their challenges. He co-founded a nonprofit organization to provide legal services for support low-income families, showing his early commitment to direct community action. He spearheaded major economic development, bringing new business and jobs to the city. He was the mayor of New York at that time. He ushered in an era of hope and progress, successfully worked to improve public safety, reduce the crime rate, oversaw a period of revitalization, making Newark a city of growth and opportunity. He was a hands-on leader, famous for his personal involvement. He was known for everything from shoveling snow for elderly residents to his heroic act of rescuing a neighbor from a burning building. And he had a voice for New Jersey and Washington. Historic election in 2013, Cory Booker became the first African American to be elected to the U.S. Senate from New Jersey, a landmark moment for the state. He championed for criminal justice reform. He's been a leading and effective voice for creating fair justice systems. He was a key architect of the bipartisan First Step Act, a monumental piece of legislation that has helped reform sentencing laws and given people that second chance. Yes. Innovator for economic opportunity. He is a forward-thinking leader on economy that's known for his baby bonds proposal, an ambitious idea designed to give every American child a nest egg to build a future, closing the wealth gap and investing in the next generation. So many great things this man has done and led. Senator Booker building bridges. He's widely respected on both sides of the aisle for his optimistic spirit, his unwavering calls for unity, stability, and finding common ground to solve Americans' biggest challenges. He's a passionate advocate, whether it's fighting for more just food system, protecting the environment, ensuring access to quality health care. He brings a unique passion and powerful voice to the Senate floor every day. He's the heart of a public servant, a message of love and unity. At the core of his political philosophy is a powerful message of hope, love, share, responsibility, inspiring countless people across the country. There it is, guys. That love, peace, and tranquility I talk about all the time. It's right there. An unwavering commitment from the streets of Newark to the halls of the U.S. Senate. Cory Booker's journey is a remarkable story of dedication, resilience, and an unbreakable commitment to fighting the good fight for all Americans. So I hope you see, as I see, that this is one of the great senators. I thought we should shout him out and give him some honor, and let's together celebrate this man who is still in the White House fighting for what is right, what is legal, and what needs to be done in this world. And I just find that that's something that I really admire, and I just had to come about and speak something about this great man. Now, what I would like to do is to go ahead. I've actually prepared some reports and videos. I mean, not prepared reports, but I have some videos so we can actually see this powerful man in action. So if you bear with me, that's what I will set up for us to watch next. And then after that, I will give my ending, and I have yet another powerful AI song I create for each of my people that I do videos on. I always make a special song for it, and I've made another rendition of the song you heard in the beginning for Cory Booker. So let's get on with the video. Just hold on, please.
Way into the hearing tries to disrupt our live shot with you, Chris Jansen, is he has to.
On the media.
Well, listen, I do want to ask you about the way that you were conducting your questions to the Attorney General. I thought with you, she actually answered the substance of your questions, but with many of your colleagues, it seemed like she came ready with lines of attack of her own. What do you make of this trend, the tone and tenor that we've seen from Trump administration officials coming up here to testify as you guys are doing your job of oversight?
Yeah, I've never seen kind of personal attacks, Kash Patel just not even coming out of the blocks, sort of attacking senators in a very personal manner. That's not the way it should be done. We have a responsibility, actually, as spelled out in the Constitution, to provide oversight and checks and balances. It's really unfortunate because everybody in that room wants to see violent crime go down, and we have real questions about using of Justice as an arm of the president, as his personal attorneys, to prosecute his personal political vendettas, to pull people away from the kind of crimes that we want solved, and instead focus on people like Comey and other political targets of his. And he's not hiding it. He's being very open. He's literally tweeting at the Attorney General of the United States of America, telling her to take out my enemies in a prosecutorial manner.
Were you satisfied by the way that she answered your questions, especially when it came to Congresswoman LaMonica and the mayor of Newark, Ross Baraka?
I mean, when a judge laughs out a case and literally says that bringing this case against Mayor Ross Baraka was embarrassing, and the baseless charges that LaMonica MacIver are facing, this is very troubling. And again, an example of the politicization of this department. And I was trying to make the point that those decisions weren't made from people on the ground to arrest Ross Baraka. They were made actually in Maine justice, people far away from what's going on, which sounds far more political than really about trying to keep peace and safety. And remember, for every political opponent that they're going after that is taking resources from the Justice Department that should be focused on stopping violent crime, stopping gun violence, stopping child predators. And to me, it is a resource allocation problem that Donald Trump isn't focused on our safety. He's focused on his own personal political agenda.
And the final question that I want to get you on is, as we see Texas National Guard troops mobilized in the state of Illinois, this is a topic that came up several times inside. What pushback is there beyond what Pritzker and others in Illinois have done, filing the lawsuits that they can to try to preempt this action, but knowing that a court's not going to intervene before Thursday? It sounds like this is happening, and it's yet another example of the administration doing this.
But it's also the mass hypocrisy. If you were sending New York National Guard to Alabama, the Republicans would be up in arms about that. In addition to the fact that it is just so unwise to ask National Guard, who is trained in protecting us from foreign adversaries, to do work that they're not trained for in terms of local law enforcement. In fact, it costs millions and millions of dollars per day to do that, when we could be investing in law enforcement on the ground and solving crime, strapped police departments, investing in them in evidence-based ways to stop crime. This is more performative than it is about actually policy, good policy, and worse than that. It in many ways is Donald Trump trying to create a crisis in these communities, trying to aggravate communities and not keep them safe and strong.
I want to thank you, Senator Booker, for stopping. You're also a former mayor, so you know that when these folks are saying this is not what we want, we don't want National Guard troops, but we're happy to have the federal investment, whether it's on gun violence prevention or something else, you know that innately because you've been in those roles. I thank you.
You move people out of ATF, FBI, all the people that are protecting us, where we detail as mayors people with those agencies. Now you've moved people out of those agencies into immigration enforcement, going after low-level people who've committed no crimes, as opposed to the kind of things we should be investing in. It's just a ridiculous strategy and really speaks to Donald Trump's chaos and corruption and not about good policy.
I'll let you go back to your office now. Thank you, Senator. And Chris, I will send it back to you as we finish up with that live reaction.
All right, guys. So I wanted to share that with you as well, to actually see Cory Booker in action. As you know, he is questioning Pam Bondi, and they're having a hearing, and he's active in that right now. And he is very powerful, very effective, very strong, very outspoken, and very fair, and looks for the legality and everything. And just like I said, we did a live last night about the issue in Chicago and many other places. And just like he said, that it's just a lot of money being spent placing officers places where they're supposed to be protecting the safety of Americans. And he's got them out there doing these crazy things, you know. I mean, this is just crazy what is going on. But hopefully it'll all pop back in place. That will be removed from there and other places. ICE will continue to do their job. They do have a job. I understand that. They have a job. But what they've been told to do and been assigned to do now is ridiculous, outrageous, and just plain crazy. And it's causing a chaos and a static in this world that we really don't need. We don't need that. So to go on without talking anymore, I have yet another video I want to share with you with Senator Cory Booker. Let me see. I would like to show you that and share that with you as well. So I'm not going to talk all through this live. I like to just, give him his introduction, his props and everything. And then I like to just put the video on so we can all share and see Senator Cory Booker in action, as many other great senators and great congresswomen and everything. So, but here we go. Just hold on.
They are making it more difficult to access vaccines that in many cases are life-saving. He promised to make America healthy, and we're seeing that his policies are actually creating more healthcare crises in our country than not. Now, I'm one of these big believers that when I see Justice Department officials and State Department officials and many other people resigning because the President of the United States is doing things that are immoral and dangerous, I believe, frankly, that all of his cabinet should be taking a moral position, especially those that are parts of agencies like Health and Human Services or the Justice Department. When you have a president that is acting in the way that he should, that all of them should be stepping down, especially those that are part of an agency that should be protecting Americans' health.
So you're saying, yes, he should step down?
Yes.
Okay. In the past, though, you have expressed a willingness to work with Secretary Kennedy, particularly on issues related to food nutrition. I want to play something that you said back in April. Take a listen.
I love the ambition. I love the things that he's saying. And by the way, they're doing some things in changing dietary standards and the like. And I'm going to continue where I can find common ground with RFK. I'm going to do everything I can to support and to lead block and to join him in the things that are right. But far be it from me to sit quietly when you're hurting our children with your policies.
Senator, if he doesn't resign, do you think you can still find common ground with Secretary Kennedy?
You know, politics is often frustrating because we're failing to do something about the problem. I'm sitting here in Newark, New Jersey, where my residents can easily access highly sugared processed foods and have a hard time accessing quality foods, nutritious foods. We live in a country that subsidizes the big food corporations who are literally poisoning us with the way that they are manufacturing a lot of the foods that they're preparing. And our ag subsidies go to those highly processed foods and not to the foods that we want Americans to eat. And so I'm going to continue to lead on this. Before you heard RFK saying things like that, I was taking steps in Congress to try to help Americans have better access to healthy, nutritious food. And yes, I'll work with anybody that wants to help my community be healthier and better access the foods we need to thrive. But let me tell you right now, the Trump administration is hurting the health of Americans. Our air quality is worse. There are more poisons affecting our families, and healthcare is being stripped away from tens of millions of Americans. You cannot say that you're about making America healthy again when you are doing so much to hurt people's access to healthy foods, like suspending nutrition programs, to healthcare itself, and also making our environment so much less healthy.
Senator, another big issue on Capitol Hill, the push to release the files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Some of his survivors speaking out this week at the Capitol. You have Congressman Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene saying that they will read a list if those survivors put together a list of people who they say were involved in Jeffrey Epstein's circle. Do you think and would you support reading such a list out loud on the House floor, even if it includes names of people who criminally haven't been accused of anything?
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code.
So let me just say, this is another painful example of Donald Trump looking America in the eye and lying over and over again. He created this crisis. He told the American public that what's going on here has not been fair, transparent, or having any accountability. And now that he's in office, he is not providing transparency, accountability, or honesty about what's going on. Thank God there are some Republicans finally getting enough of a backbone to criticize Donald Trump's lies. I hope that continues in other areas vital to Americans' well-being. So I firmly believe that Congress should be taking action in a bipartisan way to create accountability and transparency here.
As you heard me discuss with Secretary Bessent, we just got that jobs report, lower jobs than expected, created last month. And it comes as Congress is now just over 3 weeks away from a potential government shutdown. Here's what your colleague Chris Murphy says about it. He says, quote, "I don't know how Democrats sign on, vote for a budget that doesn't roll back Trump's corruption and his lawlessness. Senator, are you willing to shut down the government to defend Democrats' priorities?"
I'm willing to fight for Americans. A budget is a moral document. It reflects your priorities.
But will you shut down the government,
first
Senator?
8-9 months.
Will you shut down the government over it?
The government, if there's a government shutdown, the Republicans in control the White House and they control Congress. It'll be them that shuts things down. There's one pathway to getting a budget done. That the way it's been done the entire time I've been a United States Senator is in a bipartisan manner. But our president does not care about bipartisanship. Our president doesn't care about the independence of agencies he's attacking. He doesn't care about the independence of the Justice Department if he's targeting his political enemies like my colleague Adam Schiff. This is a president that does not have the morals necessary to reach across the aisle and work within the bounds of our Constitution. He is reckless and he's hurting Americans. And I'm not giving away my vote for a budget that's going to hurt New Jerseyans or anybody in our nation.
All right, Senator, before I let you go, I have to say a very big congratulations to you because you got engaged this week. So on behalf of all of Meet the Press, congratulations. your fiance not involved in politics, and I wonder, Senator, how have you helped her prepare to step into this political spotlight that you're in?
I'm not sure if there's anything that can prepare people to be thrust like she has in the public spotlight. We have had a blessing for a long time now to grow our relationship. This is, again, as my mom tells me, perhaps the biggest blessing I've received in my life, to meet somebody like her and to have this and share this great commitment. So thank you for that. I'm lucky. Pray for us, but I'm so excited and feel so grateful. And thank you to everybody in our country who's just sent us such well wishes and are supporting us as we take this journey. And I just feel so much of a deeper joy than I've ever felt before.
All right, Senator Cory Booker, we wish you both all the best and a hearty congratulations again. Thank you so much for joining us on a very big week for you. Really appreciate it.
All right, yo. I just wanted to share that because a lot of his opinions I do agree with as far as the present administration is concerned, and the leader and the president of that administration. He has a lot of views I agree with, and I think he said them loudly. He says them clearly, and I think he definitely gives us, where he stands, And like I said, this is one great, powerful, remarkable senator. And he's been a senator for a very long time. And yes, he's been a senator in my hometown. been part of my hometown in New Jersey. That's where I was raised and born. And I can't say too much. I'm sort of tongue tied. I just think he's great. He's in the fight and he stays in the fight and he doesn't back down. And I think we are very grateful to have him in the fight for we the people. Once again, we got to have our senators and congresswomen and all in the political factor, concentrating on democracy and we the people. And this is one of the great leaders of that. Now, I'm going to take you to another short video because I don't know, maybe some of us remember that he gave that 18-hour speech, a very long speech. Well, one has not done that. And I wanted just to get a little report on that. I know I remember when he did that. 18 hours, guys, an 18-hour speech, no bathroom break, no break whatsoever. And he just filled us in on everything we needed to know about what needs to be done here in this United States with the people. And let's just give a listen to that. I'm going to switch that out for you. And then I'm going to play you my end song, and that'll be the end of this live. It's been wonderful having you here in my video. And if you have to, I forgot to say too, if you want to join the chat, I would like to hear all the pros and cons, those that that admire Cory Booker, those that may oppose some of the things that he believes, so we could get a discussion in the chat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the link. Just give me a minute. I'm going to share the link. Hold on. Okay. Well, what I'm going to do first, let me stop screen, and I'm going to remove this. And I'm going to put up the other 18-hour speech, and then I'll make sure I put my link in there so that you can join the chat discussion. Okay? Hold on. Okay, guys, I placed the link in the chat if you want to come up or you want to come into the comments and give your view about Cory Booker. I'd be glad to hear what other people's opinions and views are of Cory Booker as well. So you're welcome to come in. I put the link there. And what I will do is I'll go on and continue with this short video here. And then we'll look for the comments and we'll be able to chat over there. I love chatting. Okay, so hold on. All right. Here we are.
That, but I just want to tell you what John Lewis said. It's a quote so many people know. And he really spoke not to members of the Senate or the Congress. He was really speaking to Americans. He said, "Get in good trouble, necessary trouble. Help redeem the soul of America." John Lewis died in 2020, July, at a time that it was Donald Trump's first term in office. And he did what Congress people did, but he also did some really extraordinary things to fight for health care. My friend Chris Murphy knows about that. He was there when John Lewis did an open Facebook chats, not in this chamber or in the House chamber. He sat on the steps and people were there. I remember when he did a sit-in. They had to shut the cameras off on him. He got in good trouble on the House side, too. And so I start tonight thinking about him. I've been thinking about him a lot during these last 71 days. Get in good trouble, necessary trouble, help redeem the soul of America, and had to ask myself, if he's my hero, how am I living up to his words? I think Democrats and Republicans have made a lot of mistakes. No side has a monopoly on the truth. No side has been perfect servants of this country. But what's happened in the last 71 days is a patent demonstration of a time where John Lewis's call to everyone has, I think, become more urgent and more pressing. And if I think it's a call for our country, I have to ask myself how I'm living these words. So tonight, I rise with the intention of getting in some good trouble. I rise with the intention of disrupting the normal business of the United States Senate for as long as I am physically able. I rise tonight because I believe sincerely that our country is in crisis. And I believe that not in a partisan sense, because so many of the people that have been reaching out to my office in pain, in fear, having their lives upended, so many of them identify themselves as Republicans. Indeed, conversations from in this body to in this building to across my state and recently in a travel across the country, Republicans as well as Democrats are talking to me about what they feel is a sense of dread about a growing crisis, or what they point to about what is going wrong, that bedrock commitments in our country that both sides rely on, that people from all backgrounds rely on, those bedrock commitments are being broken. Unnecessary hardships are being borne by Americans of all backgrounds. And institutions which are special in America, which are precious, which are unique in our country, are being recklessly, and I would say even unconstitutionally affected, attacked, even shattered. In just 71 days, the President of the United States has inflicted so much harm on Americans' safety, financial stability, the core foundations of our democracy, and even our aspirations as a people from our highest offices, a sense of common decency. These are not normal times in America. And they should not be treated as such.
John Lewis, so many heroes before us would say that this is the time to stand up, to speak up. This is the time to get in some good trouble, to get into necessary trouble. I can't allow this body to continue without doing something different, speaking out. The threats to American people and American democracy are grave and urgent, and we all must do more. We all must do more against them. But those 10 words, if it is to be, it is up to me. All of us have to think of those 10 words, 10 two-letter words. If it is to be, if it is up to me, because I believe generations from now will look back at this moment and have a single question. Where were you? Where were you when our country was in crisis and when American people were asking for help? Help me. Help me. Did we speak up? When 73 million American seniors who rely on Social Security were to have that promise mocked, attacked, and then to have the services undermined, to be told that there will be no one there to answer if you call for help. When our seniors became afraid and worried and panicked because of the menacing words of their president, of the most wealthy person in the world, of cabinet secretaries, did we speak up? When the American economy in 71 days has been upended, when prices at the grocery store were skyrocketing and the stock market was plunging, when pension funds, 401ks were going down, when Americans were hurting and looking up, where the resounding answer to this question was no. Are you better off economically than you were 71 days ago? Where were you? Did you speak up? At a time when the President of the United States was launching trade wars against our most close allies, when he was firing regulators who investigate America's biggest banks and biggest corporations and stop them from taking advantage of the little guy or the little gal or my grandmother or your grandfather, dismantling the agency that protects consumers from fraud, that the only one whose sole purpose is to look out for them. Did you speak up when the President of the United States, in a way that is so crass and craven, peddled his own meme coin and made millions upon millions upon millions of dollars for his own bank account at a time so many are struggling economically? Did you speak up when the President of the United States did what amounts to a car commercial for the richest man in the world right in front of America's house, the White House, when the President tried to take health care away? Where were you? Did you speak up? Threatening a program called Medicaid helps people with disabilities, helps expectant mothers, helps millions upon millions of Americans. And why? Why? As a part of a larger plan to pay for tax cuts for the wealthiest amongst us, who've done the best over the last 20 years. For billionaires, it seems so close to the president that they sat right on the dais at his inauguration and sit in his cabinet meetings at the White House. Did you speak up when he gutted public education, slashed funds for pediatric cancer research, fired thousands of veterans who risked their lives for their country, when he abandoned our allies and our international commitments at a time when floods, fires, and hurricanes and droughts are devastating communities across this country, when countries all around the world are banding together to do something, and he turned his back? Did you speak up when outbreaks of dangerous infectious diseases are still a global threat, but yet we have stopped engaging in the efforts necessary to meet those threats? Where were you when the American press was being censored, when international students were being disappeared from American streets without due process, when American universities were being intimidated into silence, challenging that fundamental idea of freedom of thought, freedom of expression, when the law firms that represent clients that may not be favored were attacked and attacked and attacked? Where were you? Did you speak up when they came for those firms? Or what about when the people who attacked the police officers, who defended this building and American democracy on January 6th, who just outside those doors put their lives on the line for us, and many of them would later die? Where were you when the president pardoned them, celebrated them, and even talked of giving them money, the people who savagely beat American police officers? Did you speak up when Americans from across the country were all speaking up? More and more voices in this country speaking up, saying this is not right, this is un-American, this is not who we are, this is not America. Did you speak up? And so I rise tonight because I believe to be about what is normal right now, when so much abnormal is happening, is unacceptable. I rise tonight because silence at this moment of national crisis would be a betrayal of some of the greatest heroes of our nation, because at stake in this moment is nothing less than everything that we brag about, that we talk about, that makes us special. At stake right now are some of our most basic American principles that so many Americans understand are worth fighting for, worth standing for, worth speaking up for. Like if you work hard your entire life and pay into Social Security, it should be there for you when you retire, and you should not have to question if those paychecks will arrive, and the government should strive to improve service to you, not brag about cutting it. Basic American principles like if you serve your nation in the military, if you put your life in danger abroad, you will be respected and taken care of. You will be cherished and honored and not forced to worry that the federal employees who provide you with care, many of whom are veterans themselves, will be fired, or the benefits that you rely on will be denied, or that your health care needs won't be met. Basic American principles like your child will have access to a high-quality public education. Every child has a unique genius. Even our children, beautiful children with special needs, they have genius. And that our children can go to school and parents and teachers know that they will be safe there. At stake now are those basic American principles that the people you elect to serve you in government will represent you and not try to make themselves richer, not run some scam. Call you a sucker. These basic ideals of our nation, that everyone's rights will be equally protected and everyone will be held accountable under the law. Right now, all of this, things that make our country different, are under attack. Our constituents are asking us to acknowledge this. Everywhere I travel now, I hear from Republicans and independents and Democrats who are afraid, who are worried, who are angry. And I think about John Lewis, who taught me that fear is not something to be shunned. It's almost a signpost that you're headed in the right direction. It is something that is a necessary precondition. You cannot have great fear without great courage. John Lewis would tell us that this is a time for great courage. He would tell us that anger is a fuel. It can consume you, debilitate you, or it could fuel you to put yourself in service of others. I feel if my friend was here, if my hero was here, he would tell us and try to teach us that this is a moment to know that despair is only possible if you don't meet it as an agent of hope. John Lewis was here, he would look at me and say, "What are you doing? What are we doing?" So tonight I rise in an unusual way. I rise with the intention to stand here until I can stand no longer, until I'm physically unable to stand anymore.
Okay, guys, that was that great long speech that Senator Cory Booker gave. And you know, in the end of his speech, I heard him say that another great RIP John Lewis, great senator and a leader and a just great, wonderful man, politically, and had a great political career as well. He asked, "What are you doing?" And I asked the same question. What are we doing? Whether small or big, what are we doing to fight back all these injustices and illegal and crazy things that are going on, hurting the people, like your brother and sister, your neighbor? Like, what are we doing? And if we're asking ourselves that question, then we can choose to answer it by finding something that we all can do to prevent this kind of administration's policies and things that are going on. We have to find a way to stop it as well. No one man, no one woman can do this. And we know God's over all of it. That's number one. Okay. But yeah, we can ask ourselves, what are we doing? Are we just listening? Are we just putting our ear here and putting our ear there? Are we watching as these terrible events take place and injustices are taking place? Are we just watching? I think that's a homework for all of us, including myself, to ask ourselves, what are we doing? What can we do? Trying to figure out what can we do. Because as a people, we have to fight this fight together. There's no one group of people, no one culture of people, no one race. It's people, all people. We've got to work together. So anyway, I've enjoyed giving this video. I hope you've enjoyed listening to it, but I'm not going to talk your ears off. So I hope you enjoyed helping me celebrate this great, wonderful senator, Cory Booker, and there are many others, but today I wanted to put the spotlight on him, and I have been doing this for a while now. I'm putting the spotlight on those great men and women that we have that are working in politics today, that's really fighting the good fight, and I will continue to bring you a spotlight of each and every one of them. So I'm going to end this. I've made a song for Cory and created an AI original music for Cory, a song. And I'm going to play that on my way out. And I'm going to thank you for joining this live. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. And please like, share, and subscribe. Hit dislike too. You know, sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't. That's okay, and I can handle that. But please like, share, and subscribe. And I will be back with another video. I'm going to bid you all a good day, a good evening, a good morning, wherever you are. And as I say, I don't say goodbye, but I say see you later. And I'm going to play our music on the outro, and that will be the end of this live. Thank you.
Park, a fire was lit. Son of executive, Sharpe James. On Stanford's fields, he played the game. Then Oxford called, he learned its name. A Rhodes Scholar with a world to see. Young Cory Booker with a law degree, but not for Wall Street, not for fame. Heard a different city call his name. Oh, Cory Booker, a voice for the fight. From Newark streets to DC light. For the guarding state he stands up tall. The people's urgent call. In the Senate halls he makes his case. With passion, principle, and grace. A journey forged in hope and care. The man from Harrington Park is there. He chose the bricks of Newark town. Not a simple path to wear a crown. Started a non-profit hand to hand to help the poor across the land. A street fight captured on the screen. A loss that only made him keen. Then Mayor Cory Booker took the chance. Breathe new life into the city, yeah. Breathe life into the city, yeah. Breathe life into the city, yeah. Oh, Cory Booker, a voice for the fight. From Newark streets to DC light. For the garden state he stands up tall. Answering the people's urgent call. In the Senate halls he makes his case. With his passion, principle, and grace. Journey forged in hope and care. The man from Harrington Park is there. He speaks of justice breaking chains. He's an economic growing pains. The first step back, the bill he passed. A vision for a future meant to last. From baby bonds to heal the divide. To health care with nowhere left to hide. A run for the White House, bold and true. That's the leader Cory Booker showed to you. From Newark streets to DC's light. For the garden state he stands up tall. In the Senate house he makes his case. With his passion, principle, and grace. Journey forged in hope and care. Man from Harrington Park is there. No senior senator, the work goes on. From the early morning to the dawn. A Jersey story strong and clear. The voice of Cory year after year. We love you and keep fighting the good fight. Hey.